2 years ago, you probably dropped a quarter into a machine and forgot about it in 4 seconds. It's still out there. Let's call it George. First thing you need to know, George has no name tag, no serial number, no chip, nothing. Dollar bills get tracked like that, coins don't. The second George hits a cash drawer, his entire past life gets deleted. Nobody, not the bank, not the Fed, not George himself, obviously, has any idea where he's been. Which means his next few years are basically witness protection, except he's the least discreet witness alive, because he's about to end up in a sock. For 3 straight years, George's entire personality is wet sock companion, in and out of washing machines, over and over. Somewhere, there's a guy who has fed George into a dryer 40 separate times and has never once looked at him. That's the coin equivalent of a long-term relationship neither party is aware of. Then George's job title starts changing every few weeks, and nobody asks his opinion. One morning, he's the exact coin someone needed to dry their work uniform. A few weeks later, he's a tip. Then, and this is the part that should mess with you a little, he ends up under a kid's pillow as tooth fairy money. Same quarter, same 25 cents. But to one kid, for one night, George was magic. He's still just a metal disc. But that's kind of the whole point of money. The coin never changes, only the meaning we stick on top of it does. Next, George gets launched into a public fountain along with somebody's private wish. He sits underwater for almost 2 years. 2 years. Long enough that if the wish was, "I hope this year gets better," the answer already happened. And George missed the whole thing. He was face down in chlorine water next to a hair tie and someone's lost AirPods case. When the fountain finally gets cleaned out, George comes back up scratched, a little green from the copper reacting with the water, and gets shoved right back into circulation like nothing happened. Because coins are built to survive this kind of abuse for decades. Eventually, George gets tossed in an old jacket pocket. The jacket sits in a closet for years, gets donated, and someone finds George in the lining 4 years later, next to a button and a piece of lint. Riveting stuff. Not every chapter of a coin's life is a movie. He gets spent again, bus fare, a vending machine, and then does the thing basically all of us do with spare change. He goes into a big jar on a dresser and just, stops. For 8 years. This, by the way, is you right now. Somewhere in your house there is a jar, a couch cushion, or a car door doing exactly this to actual money. It still has value. It's just doing nothing with it. Coins don't vanish from the economy, they just get grounded. When that jar finally gets dumped into a coin machine, George re-enters an actual supply chain. The Fed doesn't print coins, that's the Mint's job. But the Fed is basically the delivery service, shipping coins to whichever banks are running low. George gets bagged, weighed, and trucked to a totally different part of the country. By now, 27 years have passed since you first spent him. His edges are rounder, his face is fading. Even the machines that scan him take a beat longer to confirm he's still worth 25 cents. And here's the number that should actually surprise you. The average coin lasts about 30 years in circulation before it's too worn to use. Some last way longer. So George isn't dying. He's just closing in on retirement age, coin years. Across the world, there are an estimated 1 trillion coins in circulation. In the United States alone, at least 114 billion still exist, and those are only the pennies. George doesn't know he's one in a trillion. He's a coin. Whatever happens next, he just accepts it. Subscribe. Class dismissed.